Welcome back. In this video, we will go through a demo using Visual Studio Code. Most of us, or even you as a beginner, might not like working on the terminal this much. You're not going to use that nano editor each time. It's not practical, really, especially when we're working with large code bases. But then there are those, who are, you know, really love that. To each his own. I'm not judging. I'm just going to show you the easy way for us beginners and for people who just are using too many tools. So I'm going to close this terminal. We don't need it anymore. I'm actually just going to delete this Git sandbox folder. So we're starting from scratch. Now say I created a new folder, have our Git sandbox. It's kind of easy workflow. Right click it. I can open with code. We've seen we can open it on the terminal with a code command as well. Yes, I'll trust this. And I'll close this welcome. And then we are here. We have, I'm going to close it as well. Don't want to see that. Very easy to read. So we're starting out here. And even in here, we have the terminal. We can open the new terminal and we can run our commands from here. So, for example, I will create my .gitignore file and I would like to ignore certain files. Let's say the .disignore for Mac. I think that's what it's called. I have to verify that. Disignore Mac file. Oh, it's even dstore. Yeah. It's been a while since I saw it. dstore. We want to ignore these kind of files. We want to ignore any files. We'll see later what else we want to ignore. We can ignore anything, even files we don't even want to commit, like sensitive files that has our credentials, secrets. We never store those here. So when we store it later remotely, they're never exposed. And that is for the future, when we start working with API keys and such. So I have this gitignore file. I can now come here. I can write git status. And we see that I have no Git repository, right? We even get all this help. So let's start out. It's Git init. We've created a repository, and we even get help from this built-in source control here. We can explore it a bit later, maybe. We can see that it's not so simple. It has these changes. If I now do Git status, we can see it's not tracked yet. And then I can, if I put here, it says stage changes. Well, we can do that instead of doing the git add command, and let's just see what happens. So I can add it, and now we see there's an A there, and it says stage changes. And let's verify, how does it look from the terminal? Ah, it's green, similar to when we did the git add command. And then we have this button that says commit changes on main, our main branch. It's the only one we have. And I can now say initial commit. And then I do my commit button. And we get to see this history here down here. Helps us out. And we can also verify here git log. And we see our initial commits. And I do my git status. There are no changes that I need to track. Let's see. Let's say we added our we can add our README file, for example, or our main. Let's do our main py file. I have my main.py file, and right now I'm just gonna do print hello world. Most basic demo. And then we go back. We even see here we get this U, which means untracked. I go back here. I can I now have this. It's the same as the other one. I can stage my change, and here I can say add main by commit, and then there's nothing to track. And then let's say I change this. Now I will create later a main function for everything we're gonna do, and here I'm gonna have my print, and then I'm gonna use this standard where we say if this is the main script, this is we run it directly, we're not importing it, it's name main, then I want to call my main method. And now I can probably see nothing happens. I have to Control S to save it. We see this dot, Control S, and now we see this updated, and now we see this changes, but here it doesn't say U anymore, it says M for modified. So here I can stage changes similar to git add, and then I can commit it. So you see, we don't need to stage everything. If we had many files, we can commit independently, focus. Let's do this, for example, just so we see it. Say we had this readme.md file. This is the title of the project. We have some text here. And then we go back here. You see there's another change. And I don't need to add them all together if I'm just focusing on one file, because then the message might not be very clear about what we're doing. You want to have descriptive messages. short commits. Sometimes you might forget and you worked on a lot of things, and then you might add a lot of files that has with that particular feature to do, and then you just say, I implemented login, and then you added 10 files. But here right now, very simple. We can start small. We can do small changes and commit, and I say, let's say set up entry points, just something, commit. And then we have this, I can stage this. I can, add readme and commit. And we see we have this history. And if I right click here, we get a lot of things here. We can, right now, it's just unnecessary for us to go through, but you see the power of the UI. You don't need to memorize the commands, but it's good to understand. It's good to understand them. There are times when you might shift because it's faster that way, or you're unsure. So git status, we see nothing to commit, git log, all our messages. Very easy demo. And if I wanted to, let's see, I press Q here to go out. Let me see, we're inside this folder. But let's say I move to the desktop folder just for finding a CD, and now see we're in the desktop folder. We lose this main. It's in any git status, there's nothing track, there's no repository. Then I go back to my folder, which was called git sandbox, and it automatically detects we have a repository here, a local one. So our commands will work and we can get help, see what's going on. View exit. So you see, we now understand what they mean by when they say version control. We are tracking our changes. We have a history. We don't need to have many different files. So git status. First, we always check our folder, regardless if you're working for the terminal or source control. You make sure which folder you want to commit. Now I wanted to git sandbox. It was easy to figure out because I opened it through VS Code. But you might have done things differently. And every time we start out, we do a git init. So we initialize our repository so we can start tracking changes. And git status, it's considered one of your best friends when working with Git. Whenever we're unsure, did we add, change, we have it. These graphical interfaces help out a lot for those who like to shift when they're unsure. There's no shame in it. Yeah. Don't think there's much to think here. Some begin errors that we didn't cross here, but we can create it just to see that what happens. Say I created a student class for Python, and then I forgot to stage it, forgot to add it, forgot to track it. So I would do git commit and then I would say add student class. Then there's add a class student here. Just keep it there, and then Control S to save it, and then don't forget to close the quotation mark there. And it says nothing added to commit because we're not tracking anything. And then it shows us that it was missing. So we gotta remember to git add student. And then I can use my up arrows, I think, to go back to my typed, and then we see it changed. We already saw another possible error if we were in the wrong folder because we had navigated. So a simple Visual Studio demo. Until next time.